Hey guys, welcome to a lesson here today. You've already talked about the periodic table and how it's set up and what it's made of. Well, what we're going to talk about today is the actual properties of metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. So you can see here on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to follow along with the notes that I've got there for you. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that we got a periodic table pulled up. And so we're going to talk about some of the properties of both. Now, if we go on to the first slide with all the elements, there are 90 naturally occurring elements. So within relation to the periodic table here, so everything that you see right here, there are 90 naturally occurring elements. 25 of them are synthetic, so means that they are man-made. And then based on their properties, all elements can be divided into three classes: the metals, the nonmetals, and the metalloids. And that's what we're going to talk about. So the first one, the metals. And so what we're going to talk about here is everything from here, oops, sorry, to and up. So everything in there, that is the metals. Now, most of the elements, as you can see from what I circled around there, are metals. Some of the metal attributes, you're going to see some that are silver or gray and they're shiny. So like iron or copper, you can shine it up real nice. They are good conductors of electricity and heat so that they can pass electrical charge. So you think of an electric fence or even copper wire in your house or other wires within your house that are passing electricity through. They're malleable and ductile, means they can be stretched out, they can be rolled into sheets, they can be rolled into wire, they can be manipulated. Their physical structure, the way they look, they can be manipulated. Most are solid at room temperature, so at 25 degrees Celsius, they will be solid. So sodium, for example, so Na here, right? It's going to be solid at room temperature, except mercury. Mercury is not. It is a liquid, and we see mercury right here. It is a liquid. Everything else is going to be solid, except mercury. It's a liquid. Now, also, most react strongly with other substances. So example, sodium in air and water is highly reactive, while others such as platinum and gold are inert, so they're unreactive. So again, going back to sodium, and if we talk about everything here within going down within this family here, our alkali metals, they get more reactive as you go down that family. So we don't have any in the school here, but if you were to get a solid chunk of sodium and you were to throw it into a pail of water, it would blow up. And I mean, look on YouTube, you can see the reactivity of some of these elements. Now the nonmetals. And so everything in the blue here is going to be, and the, I guess, orange are nonmetals. So there's 17 there. So they are a group because of their non-resemblance to the metals rather than their similarities to each other. So they are quite a bit different actually, but they're not really related to the metals. Now 11 are gases at 25 degrees Celsius, 5 are solids, and 1 bromine, so Br here, is a liquid. Now there's a large variation in color and form. So example phosphorus has a red form and a white form. Some are highly reactive and some aren't. But they are poor conductors of electricity and heat, and they're usually pretty dull in color. And half of the nonmetals exist as a connected group of molecules known as the diatomic elements. So when we start talking about writing out some of these elements and writing them out in chemical formulas, we'll be giving you that list of what the diatomic elements are. So example, oxygen, you'll never see oxygen by itself, it's going to exist as O2. And then our last group, the metalloids, these are our things that have properties that are intermediates between metals and non. So examples of the metalloids would be silicon, boron, and arsenic. And I'm just going to go around here with the yellow pen. So boron, silicon, arsenic. We have tellurium, antimony, polonium, antimony, Geranium. Oops, sorry. That is our metalloids right there. So those ones within the yellow, those are metalloids. So again, they have properties close to metals, have properties close to nonmetals, and they kind of blend between the each. Now, the one other one here that I'm going to make mention to is hydrogen. Now, you're probably saying, well, hydrogen's on the side of the metals, so it must be a metal. Well, actually, hydrogen is a nonmetal. So, non-metal. But it behaves like a metal. So that's why it is right here with the metals. And usually on a lot of periodic tables, you'll see a space in between hydrogen and lithium right here. And it's not quite touching anything else. So again, hydrogen is a non-metal but behaves like a metal. So that's why it's over on the metal side. So hopefully you're able to learn something about that today, and we'll talk to you later.